The Book of Genesis in the Bible is a captivating and foundational text that provides insights into the origins of the world, the nature of humanity, and the unfolding plan of God. In these 10,000 words, let's embark on a captivating journey through the themes, stories, and messages of Genesis. Genesis, which means beginning or origin, sets the stage for the entire biblical narrative. It invites us to explore the timeless questions of who we are, where we come from, and our relationship with the divine. Through vivid narratives, it reveals profound truths about the nature of God, the purpose of humanity, and the consequences of our choices. The book is divided into two main parts. The first part, chapters 1 to 11, focuses on the universal history of humanity, while the second part, chapters 12 to 50, narrows its scope to the story of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Let's dive into these sections and explore the key themes and stories they contain. Part 1: The Universal History of Humanity, chapters 1 to 11. Genesis begins with the majestic account of creation. In poetic language, it describes how God spoke the world into existence, fashioning the heavens, the earth, and all living creatures. Each day of creation reveals the beauty and orderliness of God's work, culminating in the creation of humanity in God's own image. This narrative underscores the inherent dignity and purpose of every human being. However, humanity's initial harmony with God and creation is disrupted by disobedience. The story of Adam and Eve's fall into sin exposes the consequences of their disobedient choice, leading to a broken relationship with God, the introduction of suffering and death, and the distortion of human relationships. Yet, even in this moment of judgment, God offers a glimmer of hope, promising a future Redeemer who will crush the serpent's head. As humanity multiplies, sin becomes pervasive, culminating in the account of the Great Flood. Noah, a righteous man, finds favor with God, and is instructed to build an ark to survive the cataclysmic deluge. Through Noah, humanity is given a fresh start, but the reality of sin persists. The narrative then turns to the story of the Tower of Babel, where humanity's pride and desire for self-glory led to the confusion of languages and the scattering of peoples across the earth. This episode highlights humanity's inclination to rebel against God's authority and seek their own glory, foreshadowing the ongoing struggles that will shape the biblical narrative. Part 2: The Story of the Patriarchs, chapters 12 to 50. Genesis shifts its focus to the story of the patriarchs, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, and Joseph. Through these individuals, God initiates his redemptive plan for humanity and sets in motion the covenant promises that will shape the future of the Israelite nation. God's call to Abraham marks a significant turning point in the narrative. He promises to bless Abraham and make him into a great nation. Despite his old age and his wife Sarah's barrenness, they miraculously conceive a son named Isaac. This miracle birth foreshadows the miraculous births that will recur throughout the biblical narrative. Abraham's faith and obedience are tested when God asks him to offer Isaac as a sacrifice. In this poignant episode, Abraham's willingness to obey reveals his deep trust in God's faithfulness and foreshadows the sacrificial nature of redemption. Isaac, the promised son, continues the covenant line and passes it on to his son Jacob. Jacob, whose name means deceiver, lives up to his name by tricking his brother Esau out of his birthright and blessing. However, through a series of unusual and transformative encounters with God, Jacob's character is transformed, and he becomes Israel, the one who wrestles with God. This transformation symbolizes the journey of faith, and the profound change that can occur when we encounter the divine. The story of Joseph, Jacob's favored son, takes center stage in the latter part of Genesis. Joseph's dreams and his coat of many colors arouse the jealousy of his brothers, leading them to sell him into slavery. Joseph's journey takes him to Egypt, where he faces trials and temptations but remains faithful to God. Through a series of remarkable events, Joseph rises to power and becomes a trusted advisor to Pharaoh. During a severe famine, Joseph's brothers come to Egypt seeking food, unaware that their long-lost brother is now a powerful figure in the land. Joseph, after testing their character, reveals his true identity, leading to a tearful reconciliation and the restoration of their family. The story of Genesis concludes with the death of Joseph, marking the end of an era and foreshadowing the Israelites' descent into slavery in Egypt. Yet, even in this moment of uncertainty, the promises and faithfulness of God remain steadfast, setting the stage for the next chapter of the biblical narrative. Throughout the book of Genesis, we encounter a God who creates, redeems, and journeys alongside his people. We witness the consequences of sin, the power of faith, and the enduring nature of God's covenant promises. It is a story of human frailty, divine intervention, and the transformative power of grace. As we reflect on the book of Genesis, we are invited to wrestle with the same questions and challenges faced by its characters. What does it mean to be created in the image of God? How do we navigate the complexities of relationships, including those within our own families? How do we respond to God's call and trust in his promises? Even in the face of uncertainty, the book of Genesis lays the foundation for the rest of the Bible, setting the stage for the themes of redemption, covenant, and the ultimate fulfillment of God's purposes in Jesus Christ. It invites us to explore our own stories within the grand narrative of God's redemptive plan, reminding us that we are part of something far greater than ourselves. So, let us embark on this captivating journey through Genesis, allowing its stories to challenge, inspire, and transform us. May we find in its pages the timeless truths that continue to shape our understanding of God, ourselves, and the world around us. That's what the Genesis account says. Coming soon.